The central concept in logic is the proposition. A proposition is something that's either true or false. A declarative sentence expresses a proposition when the sentence clearly proposes that some situation, for example, Calypso the cat is on the kitchen table, describes the way things are. The proposition is that the sentence's description matches the way things are in the world. If the description does match the way things are, if Calypso really is on the kitchen table, then the proposition is true. Otherwise, if Calypso is in your lap, it is false. The truth or falsity is in the relationship between the description and the world. But be forewarned, almost every philosopher will disagree with some or all of these points as an account of propositions. Propositions have different ways of being true or false. If the proposition's truth or falsity depends on the changing way things are, Calypso moves around all the time, then the proposition is contingent. It is dependent on circumstances. If the truth or falsity of the proposition is always true, as in 1 + 1 = 2, or always false, as in 4 is greater than 3, in a way that does not depend on circumstances, then it is non-contingent. A non-contingent, that is not dependent on circumstances, truth is called a tautology. A non-contingent, that is not dependent on circumstances, falsehood, is called a contradiction. These ways of being true or false describe the way a proposition relates to a particular world, such as the actual world. Two other ways of being true or false describe the way a proposition relates to the realm of possible worlds. A proposition is possibly true if there's some world in which it is true. It could be a contingent truth in at least one world, or a tautology for this to be the case. A proposition is not possibly true if it is false in every possible world. In this case, it must be a contradiction. A proposition is necessarily true if it is true in every possible world. In this case, it must be a tautology. A proposition is not necessarily true if there is some world in which it is false. It could be a contingent falsehood in at least one world, or it could be a contradiction.